Nope, day 8. I skipped 2 days. But here I am, day 8. And I wanted to share a couple things that came to mind today. First of all, I have learned that I can release headaches. So every time I get a headache, I say to myself, I lovingly and willingly release this headache. And I imagine it basically evaporating or dissipating, and that pretty much clears it up within a minute of setting that intention. So today, when I had a weird thing in my throat, I coached myself, and I was like, what would I tell someone asking me what to do here? And I thought, well, I would tell them that you can direct attention to it and heal it. So I did, I lovingly and willingly release all that no longer serves me. And then I did a whole body relaxation visualization, and I visualized healing source light coming in through my head and into my throat, and I kept pulling that light into my throat. And then I said, okay, now next time I swallow, it's going to feel better. And I zoned out for about 10 seconds. And then I automatically swallowed something, like some broccoli that was in my mouth because I was eating during this time. And it was fine. Like, it had disappeared. And I was like, oh my God, it worked. And then I realized, yeah, of course it worked. Like, this hasn't worked before. And then it came back a few minutes later, and then, because I was like getting in my head, not a few minutes, like an hour later, and I just did it again before I sat down, and it worked again. So I would try this if I were you with pain. I also do this when I'm having like really bad stomach cramps, and it works for me. So try that out. Also, I was listening to a talk by Louise Hay, and she said something that I wanted to talk about. And she was talking about, what did you learn about what you deserve as a kid? And I noticed in my thoughts that I was taught that I didn't deserve anything. And that was like partly from my the religion I was brought up in, but it was on par with nobody owes you anything. And so I took that belief that nobody owes me anything, and I still have it today, and I believe that nobody owes me anything. But somehow I took what I was taught and turned that into something where I didn't believe I deserved anything. That also comes from the Christian tradition that we are lowly and we don't deserve the grace of God, but by God's grace and mercy we get. And so this very, very deep-rooted not belonging, not deserving belief was given to me when I was a kid. And so while now I still believe that nobody owes me anything, I believe that I deserve goodness. I deserve all good and blessings, whether or not I believe I deserve it. So I wrote this down earlier as an affirmation for myself, that even though I may not always believe I deserve it, I deserve all good at all times. Another way of saying this for myself is I always deserve good, even when I think I don't deserve it. I always deserve goodness and blessings from the universe. I always deserve that because I exist, simply because I exist. I don't have to prove to anyone or anything or ask for forgiveness from God. I believe that because I was born and because I exist, I deserve love. And I am now aware that I create that perception of love. I create it and I give it to myself. So, yeah. I hope you feel interested in sitting quietly with yourself, because I promise you it is so worthwhile. And a part of you your brain, your mind may fight you and say, oh no, I got all of these little things to do, I don't have time to sit, like that's so wasteful. It is the biggest gift and the freest gift that you could ever give yourself, because you just have to be, like, just sit and just let the thoughts pass. And like Louise Hay was saying, there's no wrong way to meditate and to sit with yourself. And you're proving to yourself that you believe at some level that you deserve to be heard, and you deserve all things good and great. So thanks for listening. This was day 8.